Hey guys, I'm Jordan Albright and welcome to iKnowHow. Today I'm going to show you how to teach your dog an awesome trick, jumping through a hoop. Show your friends and family once you're done training. And no, I'm not teaching this blindly because I taught my own dog Mitzie how to jump through a hoop. You don't believe me? Here are a few clips. Good job! Yeah. It's easy, fun, and it's totally beast to know that you taught your dog to do it and not some fancy trainer. So let's begin. Welcome to Hoop Jumping 101. Step 1. Lower the hoop to the ground. So obviously you're going to need a hoop if you want to even do anything that I say in this video, so I'm not even going to go into that. So lowering your hoop to the ground, it's like you hold the hoop as if your dog was about to jump through it, and then you just, still holding it, lower it to the ground so that like the bottom part, edge of it is touching the ground. So that's kind of simple. Step 2 is lure your dog through the hoop. So with the hoop still on the ground, you're going to need like your dog's favorite toy or a treat or something, and then you hold the treat or the toy or whatever on the side that's opposite of your dog. And then some dogs will just like automatically run through to get the treat. Other dogs you might have to like, ease them through, like pat your leg or say come on, or wave the treat around a little bit to get them to come through. But that's basically all you're trying to do, is get them to come through while the hoop is on the ground, so they'll get used to the fact that they have to go through the hoop. And you might have to do this a few times until you're sure that your dog knows what it's supposed to be doing. So like repeat the process like maybe 4 or 5 times until your dog understands what it's supposed to do. Step 3 is to raise the hoop a little. So it started on the ground with the rim on the ground, so you're gonna have to raise it just a little bit so that your dog knows that it has to jump through. Hold the treat on the other side like we did the first time, and then your dog will come through if it had gotten used to the fact that it has to come through the hoop and it can't just go around and stuff. I took like some tape and I marked it on like a washing machine, like because I was training Mitzie in the laundry room, so I was holding the hoop, and every time that I went up with the hoop I put a piece of tape to mark the progress. So you could do that. It's easier to keep track of your dog's progress if you keep training them to go higher, like through a week's time or something. It's good to know like how far they've gotten. So just raise it just a little bit and do the same thing we did the first time and have them jump through a few times. And yeah, make sure it's not super high so that they just have to do a little hop to get through, until they get used to that. Then you can move on to the next step. Gradually raise the hoop. So just like we've been doing, you just gradually raise the hoop, like having your dog go through it like maybe 4 or 5 times between each increment of going up. So maybe the first time you had them go through 4 times, and as it gets more difficult you might want to have them go through more than 4 times until they get used to it. Like you have to get them used to it. And if the dog starts going underneath it or around it, even though it knows it's supposed to go through, if it's a little bit scared to go through, you can bring it back down to where it was until your dog's comfortable again. And then once your dog's comfortable, you can bring it back up. If they're still not comfortable, bring it back down, until they feel like they can come through safely. So do whatever it takes until you take the hoop as high as you want it to. Some people actually transfer into having them come through their arms, but I'm not in for that kind of stuff. You may be. It's basically the same process, except you get to a certain height and then you switch to arms. It might take a little bit longer to get your dog used to going through your arms, especially if you have really short arms and have like a little tiny circle for your dog to jump through. So step 4, the last step, is to remove the reward. So the toy or the treat, whatever you've been using to get your dog through the hoop, stop using that. Like just put it down until you can come up with like a command like hoop or whatever to get your dog to come through without needing like some convincing. Just like say the word. Or what I do is I snap my fingers on the side of the hoop that I want Mitzie to come through. So it's like if I want her to go through one side, then I'll snap in that direction, and then I can go back to the other side and she'll come through like she did in the clip that I showed you. So But sometimes you can just go back to giving them the treats. Just if they, if you don't practice it very much, then you might need to go back to the treat to get them, re-motivated into going in and out without any reward. So do whatever you need to do, but it's best to get rid of the rewards at some point so that they know that they're supposed to do it just because you've said to, not because they're going to get something for it. So that's it. It's a simple process, getting your dog to jump through the hoop. It might take a little time depending on the dog. My dog Mitzie, she's a very small Shih Tzu, and she can jump about with the hoop about a foot off the ground, and she's kind of stupid. So that just kind of proves the fact that any dog can do this pretty much. So, just practice with your dog until they finally get it, and then maybe enter them in some community dog shows or something, because unless they know a bunch of other tricks, it's best not to go to one of those real fancy dog shows and just have them jump through the hoop the whole time, because that's all they know how to do. So, do whatever you'd like with this. It's super fun. Alright, so now you know how to train your dog to jump through a hoop. I'm Jordan Albright, signing off.